So people won't die before you understand. We all got children going to school. Market woman is selling their goods. Yeah. Let it be great. No noise. I've never seen a peaceful protest in this land before. Even my papa and my old man tell me it never been before. To all the leaders in this land, take your problem and talk it like men. Going up for heaven to make you understand. Because Baratana, no school. Baratana, no white, nothing to do. Baratana, GSM company rapping it. Investor necessity rapping it. My people, they get something to go experience. Let's keep this peace alive. Keep this little piece alive. Yeah. Let's keep this peace alive. Keep this little piece alive. Oh yeah. Papa, I wanna you can hear me say. Oh, Papa, I wanna you can hear me say. All the people talking say they don't drink bread milk. I pray to people to fire the people with donor and leg milk. We all are trying to move ahead. Some people say we might not get there because confusion can butter their bread. If I go tell myself, jump inside the streets, anything happen to me, my family will grieve. If I go tell myself, jump inside the streets, something happen to me, you and your family will leave. Because Baratana, no peace. Baratana, no my everything free. So Baratana, we be looting with beer, killing and shooting with beer too. Let us learn from the past. Let's keep this peace alive. Keep this little piece alive. Yeah. Let's keep this peace alive. Keep this little piece alive.
Hey, sticky the carriers.
Papa, okay. I wanna you can hear me say. Papa, I wanna you can hear me say.
I in the go for peace, don't even stop me. Stop you at that wall, let them invite peace. No fighting, no undermining. Yes, keeping the peace in a nice rhyming. Yo, don't let the young people say they want to demonstrate. I got no money, they want to feed the benefits. You see, people stopping, tell me now what is the benefit? So my people say no to violence, demonstration, all that thing, and I cook our motherland. That you one day we gonna prosper, keeping the peace in the city and every villages. Nobody, man, I can't tell you something negative. Politician, qualification, we can work together using multiplication. Okay, united we stand, no one division. That hold hands together to save the motherland.
That's true. Keep this peace alive. Keep this little piece alive. Yeah. Let's keep this peace alive. Keep this little piece alive. Oh yeah. Papa, I wanna you can hear me say. Oh, Papa, I wanna you can hear me say. Papa, I wanna you can hear me say. Oh, Papa, I wanna you can hear me so. Papa, I wanna you can hear me say. Papa, I wanna you can hear me so.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women. Welcome to Attorney Commander Glspohkpa Chesson talk show. We wake up to 61 degrees in Providence, Rhode Island. What the day will bring? I'm not a prognosticator. I don't know. Check your news, okay? But we know that Boris Johnson, the British Prime Minister, is about to resign. The people are tired with him. He tell them one thing, he do another thing. He said no party, yeah, one party. He said no get together, yeah, we get together. So the people got tired with Boris Johnson and they demanded his resignation. And he's supposed to be submitting his resignation soon. Donald Trump's friend. The January 6th Commission of the Congress continued the investigation. I hear they'll be on TV on Tuesday next week, going on with the report for the public, so we can hear, the public can hear. So if you're paying attention to that and following that, more power to you. So my topics for this morning, let my thing just go around, have to do with the situation that's going on in our country. Leadership issues. When leadership fails, what happens? Let's find out about it today. My topics for today are: 1, when the leadership of a nation fails, the hopes and dreams of the people are trampled upon. Because our leaders are all we have to hope in. Second topic, Dr. Glenn S. Prescod, Community Self-Help Vocational Baking School on the Buduburam Refugee Camp in the Republic of Ghana. So those are my 2 topics for this morning. Let me take a sip of my coffee and we'll begin the hula-la. Balala, aluta, continua. Well, this is what happens when leadership fails. The people's hopes and dreams are trampled upon. You know what we believe in, what we hope in, what we look forward to. All of those things are trampled upon. I'm trying to find this video. What happened to this video I just put up today? Here it is, I guess. So,
You are the bench. Like Gambia is the bench. Gambia is the bench. You are the motherfucking bench. No, you are the motherfucking bench. No. You see the man? Wait. You see the man?
So that's the Liberia's legislature, the House of Confusion. I keep telling you, these people make us shame all the time. Their behavior, their mannerisms, the way they carry themselves and behave is unbecoming. I'm listening to all the invectives this man was using, the profanity, and they're recording it too, but they don't care. They don't care. Every time we come to see the House or Senate of the vRepublic, there's some clown show going on. There's some dysfunctional behavior going on. And these things reflect on us. These are two senators from the same county. They can't agree. They're fussing. How can they attend to the people's business of Bon County? How can they? Not even time. I don't even want to deal with the issue. Just the behaviors. You know, every day, our legislators sit down to make laws. There is some dysfunction in the House, in the Senate. Somebody crying something, somebody yelling insult, somebody doing something. How can we go on with this kind of thing? And we see these things all the time. Not only are you see, if these things are going on, our country will run it straight, then we have no problem. But these things are going on. The corruption is at a level that we cannot even anticipate. The incompetence is so bad and terrible. Our country is dying day by day. Day by day. And instead of these people come and strive to put things together to make our country better, they come here fighting among themselves. All this are petty change. That's also corrupt money business they're fussing over. So corruption. You dig down in it, somebody did something to another, or step on somebody's toes, or says something about somebody, or block somebody's way. Something has to do with money and corruption. This is all our lawmakers are there for. They're not there for our interests. Because if they were there for our interests, Liberia would be going forward now. All the stealing and criminality going on in our government will cease and desist. That's why I don't even like to talk about the stealing in the government, because what you will point on, everybody's stealing. Look at the situation with the oil refinery. All the gas that got missing. You hear the security man talking about the thing, how he arrested people with gas in the car, taking it somewhere else. All these things been going on for long. They've been going on for too long in our country. And it's evident that there's no accountability. There's no responsibility. There's no check and balance. We still on the old Tottenham thing, you see for Steve make God laugh. We can't go on like that. Our country will not progress. Our country will not advance. Our children will be left to fend for themselves time and time again. And this is not how a nation grows and prospers and develops. It's not how we do it. We got to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. Ain't no use in me touching on any issue or agency. The whole government is corrupt. From top to bottom is corrupt. Every agency is damn corrupt. Every agency is corrupt. Every governmental ministry is corrupt. You can't show me one that is not corrupt. Because if the head is rotten, the whole damn body of fish is rotten. It stinks. And there's no accountability or responsibility for anything in our country. And we can't go on like this. We can't go on like this. This is sad. This is sad. Look at the marshal of the House standing between these two representatives, separating them from their foolishness and shenanigans. How can we accomplish anything in our country with these people behaving like this? Your pray tell me, man. Now, I ain't want to talk about it, what they did Brunei about. And I don't even want to touch on it. Just the behaviors alone is reprehensible. Their behaviors alone need to be checked. Because they can't accomplish anything in our house or our legislature. That place is so dysfunctional. People don't know how people voting. We don't know who voted for what. Everybody just putting up their hands like schoolboys. We got nothing but high school and elementary school children running our House and Senate. They're behaving like little children. Who offered this? Put your hands up. Yeah, put your hands up. Nobody making record of who voted for who or for what. Everybody just voting like their high school children. Put your hands up and count everybody, and it's finished. And put the numbers down and we'll move on. But there's no accountability to the Liberian people. Right now, we ask who voted this way, nobody knows. Who voted that way, nobody knows. All the technology we got, instead of putting up a board, like they won't be like America. Everything in Liberia will be like America, except the right things. Except the right things. The things that don't matter, they won't be like it. But the things that will cause check and balance on them, they don't care about it. Because if they care about it, there will be a board in the House and in the Senate showing who voted for who and for what. And nobody will be against that. But social criminals run our country today. They don't want people to know how they vote because people will know the truth about their intentions and their statements and their trustworthiness. The same thing with this colored guy from Bon County now, where the people are kicking against him and putting his candidacy down for the next election because all the promises he made to them, he hasn't fulfilled any of them. He told them he was going to give his personal car for ambulance. He hasn't done that. Now all the people in Bon County say, oh, but you lie. Now he's telling them, oh, I will buy a second-hand car to use as ambulance. The people said, now what you told when you're running? When you're running, you told you're going to give us your car to use. You told you're going to build school in certain part of the county. You haven't built the school yet. You told you're going to do this. All the things, the promises he made to the people, none of them have been fulfilled. So the people are holding him accountable now. Just as we should hold all these people that lie to us time and time again, because our people cannot continue to lie. We cannot continue to live under the shadow of William V.S. Tubman, who was one of the most corrupt leaders of our time. Yes, he did some good things for Liberia, but he also destroyed our country because of his corrupt and wicked practices and behavior. Look at our country today. Most of the things Tubman built is destroyed because that's what happens when a leader does not respect democracy but wants to perpetuate himself in power over the will of the Liberian people. It happens time and time again. And to do that, you have to kill up all the powerful men in our nation. And that's what he did. Tubman killed up all the powerful men in our nation. And the men that were not so powerful, he flogged them and beat them and tried to humiliate them time and time again. To stay in power for 30 years. And this is the result of what happened in our country now. We have no leadership. Instead of developing leadership for our country, he was trying to destroy leadership to keep himself in power. Now, after 30 years of ruling our country, from 1980 to today, we can't find no leaders for our country because we only had a few leaders that were capable of leading our country after they killed up all the leaders and suppressed the other ones. After Trampled died, Trampled got there, he couldn't fulfill the will of the people because the old guard from Trampled still wanted to perpetuate themselves in power. And that led to the 1980 coup. And after that coup, things have not changed in our country. Things have not changed because the same people want to come back and rule our country under the same practice of corruption and darkness and cloudiness. And we can't allow it. The patriots of Liberia must rise up. The true people that believe in change and progress and advancement must stand up against these old people. We got to get rid of these people. The Ellie Johnson, the Buckeyes, the Cummingses, all these people got to go. We need a new breed of leaders in our country. The Benanayura, they got to go to jail. Benanayura, Prince Johnson, all the criminals got to go to jail. These are the criminals that still perpetuating crimes and evil in our country today. And they pack up in the legislature. We got to put all of them in jail. We got to dethrone them and put them in jail. Confiscate their properties. Take their money and put them in jail. Free our country of the rogues. We need a new breed of Liberian people. We can't go on with these rogues, man. These people coming from the 1980s and 1970s and still want to bring this criminality in our society. It got to cease and desist. People got to go to jail. We got to flog them if we must. The will of the Liberian people cannot continue to be suppressed. The destiny of the Liberian people cannot be continued to be denied them and overclouded with bullshit. It has to cease to desist. Liberian patriots must rise up and awaken to your own destiny. Because we can't continue under the Trampled and Trampled legacy. We can't continue under the Trampled and Trampled cloud. We must have people with innovative means and direction and efforts to move our society and people in a different direction. We can't continue in the same direction, my people. We can't continue. Steve is wrong. Got to go to jail. That rogues, they got to go to jail. Trust and don't pay, you got to go to jail. You got to be flogged. We got to change our society by any means necessary. We got to put law and order in place and stop all this criminal behavior, criminal singing, criminal actions, and criminal thoughts. We got to change our society and our people. We got to demonstrate that we are people of integrity under the rule of law. People who punish crime and don't reward it. But right now we're rewarding crime. Look at all the people stealing and killing people and we're giving them jobs, moving them to higher places. No, that's not how our society to go. We got a criminal society because our president is a criminal. When you got criminals leading the country become a criminal state. And people that behave like the way they behave in our legislature. Look at them insulting others, pointing their fingers to each other. Pure hatred for one another. Where all that is about? Where all that about? Where all that about? The time of the Liberian people is now. If we don't change these things, our country will not grow. Our children will remain stagnant in the development. And so will our future be dimmed. We can't go on with this. I'm appealing to you young children, the majority in our country, to rise up, awaken, and see the light, and know that we can do better than these people. We need people who can help our country and our people, not people who will carry on like this for their own personal interest and greed. The time of the Liberian people is now. I rest my case on this topic. Let me take a break. Then we start with my final video for the day. But we gotta change. We can't go on like this. It's not right for us. It's not right for our children. It's not giving them the right examples for leadership of our country. Our children not learning anything good from this thing. What are they learning from this thing? Our children are supposed to be sitting in the legislature as visitors, listening to our lawmakers. But how can you send children from school to our legislature when our legislators behaving with worse than school children? What will the children learn from these people when they go, if we take them to the... That's what governments do. They have the school children visit the legislature and sit down and watch how our lawmakers behave and carry on their business. Then they leave there with an idea of how to do their own things in their school, develop their programs, their leadership agendas, all the things because they learn from our leaders and they see it firsthand. When you take our children to the legislature and see our legislators behaving like that, it will shock them. It will traumatize them for life. They will go home thinking that we got a lot of grown-up people running our country, which is true, which is sincerely true. We got a lot of grown-up criminals leading our country. And you blame the people because the people are short-sighted. They put short-sighted leaders in power. And our country can't grow. Our country can't develop. Our country can't progress or advance because all this stupidness going on in our house when these people are supposed to be attending to the business of the Liberian people. But they're fighting for their own personal interests. It has nothing to do with the Liberian people. That's also greed and corruption and evil they're fighting for. You see it like that. Because it will, for the Liberian people, they will be sitting down discussing it and finding ways to help our people. But when you have corruption and greed involved in the work of the Liberian people, there will always be fuss among people who can't see eye to eye. And this is what happened. But when our children see these kind of things time and time again, it leaves them shocked. It leaves them blinded. It leaves them terrible. Because our leaders are supposed to be setting examples that the same thing Boris Johnson is resigning for. Because the British leadership has lost confidence in him. Because he's supposed to be guiding the country. He's been breaking every rule and law the country set. Seems that this government, they set their rules and laws and they break it themselves. And we can't go on with leadership like that. People got to resign. From the time Boris Johnson got in power, the British people have been upside down. Now they finally come to the decision that this man got to go. He got to resign. Nobody in the government won't work with him because he can't follow rules. He can't follow his own ordinances. So that's a problem. That's a problem. When the leaders make laws, they cannot follow their own laws and want to be above the law. That's a problem. And this is what's going on in our country from time immemorial, and it has not ceased, nor has it desist. And we can't continue with this. We can't continue with this. The lawmakers are the law followers. They can't be the law breakers. You can't make your own law and break it. So what the purpose of you making laws if you're above your law? When you're supposed to be ensuring that everybody follows your law, you the one that won't be above the law. Won't do what you want to do, but you want other people to do what you wanted to do. That's not right. And we've been through this thing for too long. Our country must change. Our young children, this is not right. This is not right. But this is what happens when the leadership is bad, when the leadership has failed, when the leadership is corrupt, when the leadership has no interest in the interests of the Liberian people. I rest my case on this issue. Aluta continua. Have a good day on this topic. So my people in the Buduburam camp have been doing their assessment and evaluation all week long. I told you all last week, my CEO was ill. He got sick and he could not attend to school last week. But by the grace of God, he's back on his feet, feeling healthy, strong. And he sent me this video of the assessment program that's going on. And we see how our young people are doing. You know, people got all kinds of things to say about Buduburam camp, but the people on Buduburam camp. But if you're not investing in the people there, if you're not giving them something to hope for, to see that will bring them benefit, they have no hope. So by the grace of God, he enabled me and my wife through our young CEO on the camp there to start this vocational school that's supported by so many people who wrote to ask for money, and they send us the money. And this vocational school is really changing lives because the people have things to do now that they can see result from, that they can learn that they didn't even think existed. Have you listened to some of the young children in the school that are talking about how they didn't even know how to bake or how to do anything until they start with the school? Now they see that they can do things, their potential is being realized because everything now in the form of education. Everybody can't go to school and learn, but everybody can learn in different ways. We all have abilities and capabilities. But some people can read and grasp. But for us who never had parents to teach us how to read from small, because that's how American people learn how to read. They got parents, they got a society structure where the father and mother can sit down with the children in the night and give them books to read and read stories to them and give them that interest in reading and imagining. Because when you read, you imagine, you broaden your mind. You know, that was some people can sit by themselves in the room all day. They don't need to mix with anybody because they are readers. They are dreamers. They know how to imagine things, you see, and good things too. Not just frivolous, stupid things that go on to steal and rob people and things like that. No. Things that add to human existence and human progress and advancement. You know, those kind of people. You see? So some of us never had parents to do that to us, to sit us to develop in us that interest to read and want to read books. Like when children would sit and read 2 books in 1 week. Man, I read 2 books in 1 year. God bless me. In God, my son, I read 2 books in 1 year. I ain't that kind of kid. You know, I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth with parents to sit there and read to me. No. I'm a man of the struggle. Sometimes I had to educate myself. And many of us have to educate ourselves. In Liberia, many of us have to educate ourselves. Yes, we go to school, but many of us have to find other means of getting information to enhance our knowledge and understanding of things. So school is not the only thing. But for those who can fit in there and comprehend the English language and read the book and comprehend what they're reading and apply it, that's good for them. But for the rest of the majority of my people who are not interested in school and all the things, they just want to make money and live their lives and be at peace. Yeah, some of them may be interested in school, but not to college level. Just learn a little bit to get along, to live their lives. They won't complicate their hair and their minds. So give them things that they will go learn and be happy learning to make money. That they can get up and go out, and once they learn it, they can go do it by themselves and make money. Vocational school, you know. So once the people can have the ability to be self-sufficient, have opportunities or avenues to grow themselves, people will always gravitate towards that direction to learn those kind of things, because it's not too much reading, it's more hands-on. Even the lecture part, the theory part is not that complex. It's just simple theory. Anybody can learn it, but it's not like a whole lot of things. The practical is more profound than the theoretical part. So most of the people like the practical part. They can quicker remember 1 ounce of sugar equal 2 ounces of salt, and to all the things. They quicker learn it by hands and doing it than reading it and sitting down looking at it on the backboard. But when you take them and make them repeat it 2 or 3 times, they catch on to it. To repetition, to physical training, So what they read in the book, they may not be able to apply it physically. But when somebody read it and can come and teach them it physically, it transfers to them and they understand it and know how to do it. And they practice it, and they become professional at it. You see, like our military people, you go in the military, anybody can go in the military. But the military gave you the opportunity to get high school diploma, to even get college degrees and master's degree now. But before, when those opportunities weren't available, it was based on repetition. That way in the military, everything, you got books to teach you what to do. These kind of books, first aid books that teach you step by step what you need to do when somebody got a call, how to check them, what questions to ask, how you do the thing. Once you repeat that thing over and over, it becomes professional, imparted in you. It becomes a part of you. So it will just come out of it. What's your name? What's wrong with you? Did you do this? Did you do that? All the questions you need to ask if you're a doctor or physician treating a patient. So these are the things that bring out the best in some other people. They can gravitate towards and learn and be good at it. So with this self-help vocational school, Dr. Glenn S. Prescod, we thank Dr. Prescod for letting us use his name. Now, the school is growing, and we're talking about playing kickball game for July 26th. Can you imagine that? Dr. Glenn S. Prescod Vocational School want to challenge Friends of Rodney Chesson in a kickball match because we got more women in the school than anybody. So they want to challenge Friends of Rodney Chesson, who is the staff of the Glenn Prescod School, in kickball for the July 26th celebration. And they passed that by me, and I'm going to agree with it. You want to challenge my people? Challenge the staff. So let's get on with the show. Let me see where Son Duraka sent us before I get into talking more about this thing. So let's look at baking and see what baking got to do for us.
Kazo, look at Monzo. Yeah, brother, how you feeling there? You want life? Are you super?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, what are you doing today?
We're doing cassava bread.
I see you mix some butter. You mix cassava with butter too?
Yes.
I look.
Well, we're doing cassava bread as you know.
Yeah,
So
is this a person for a morning session? Yeah, explaining.
Butter,
Yeah.
sugar, flour, cassava, coconut. So they are all there. So we are going to see how it will come up.
Okay.
Yeah. So after everything,
Okay.
see it.
All right.
Right now, we're creaming.
Okay, do you equipment right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. You can see for yourself the student doing creaming for face cassava bread this morning. You see a starter there. Student patient. Patient. Good morning. Yeah, you want live with me? What are you doing this morning? I see you doing butter here, but I don't know what butter for. Yeah. I was doing cassava bread, but I see butter. You missing butter. Can you explain to me? Come again? What? Okay, simple. What are you doing today? Cassava bread, right? Okay. Good morning. Yes, to the cover. I see you're missing butter. What are you doing today? Yeah, but I see you playing with butter. But all cassava and butter relate together. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Because how you feel for your assessment this weekend now? It's so great. Or I learned that you're going to almost 3 months now. How you feel in school? Your teacher not doing well, right? Wow. 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 Yeah, Mother. Student Mother. Good morning. Yeah. So how you doing today? When begin? Yeah. Yeah, I seen you cleaning your leg butter. Yeah. Yeah, student Ellen. Good morning. How are you? How you feel your assessment a week? Come again? Oh my God, crush up. Wow. The student learning. But when begin today? Oh, wow, my friend are here that thing. 2 meals together, right? Cassava and coconut, right? Wow. I can't wait to see it in the oven. Myself want to taste this. How you look? Yeah. You see your tea lily? Soon in the morning, about to me to eat. Tea lily, how are you? You want live with me? How are you, tea lily?
Morning.
Yeah, morning.
I'm fine.
Yeah, what are you doing today?
I'm doing
Cassava short bread? Oh my God. Are you confused, tea lily? Oh, go ahead. I let you know cassava bread. Cassava bread.
Yeah, coconut mix.
Okay. But I learned you are doing 2 meals today, cassava and coconut. How you relate together?
Oh, it looks so good. Very nice.
Wow.
When you enjoy it and eating the short bread.
Oh my God. I can't wait to taste it. Wow. All right. Razo, you want live again? Any measure to keep it, John? Razo, any measure?
Yeah, so
Any more you from there? Any see them, man?
so far so good.
Yeah.
So all grateful for this opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to say thank you.
Yeah.
Keep thankful. Everybody is making this possible.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. My people in the Buduburam Refugee Camp doing their thing as usual. That's my show for this morning. I hope you enjoy it. I see you all tomorrow morning, same time, same station. The struggle continues. All right.